much for clicking on this video. Your support is much appreciated. I just quickly wanted to hop on here and talk about me trying to get back on track with my health. Where I fell off a few months ago, being missing on YouTube. The 4 or 5 people that asked me and sent me messages to ask me where I'm at, what's happening, sort of vaguely alluded to the fact that I was going through a little bit of a something, and I will definitely be coming back to YouTube. So let me start off with that first. So in December, I was actually, to be specific, in December, on the 17th of December last year, I was busy filming a YouTube vlog, etc. I was filming Eden and I, we were going to get our nails done, and we were just having a nice girly day, etc. And I got a call from my sister in Cape Town saying that my dad was being rushed to the hospital, and that she's not sure what the issue is, etc. But she's going to wait for an update and then she will keep me informed. My dad's health wasn't perfect. He had his issues, etc. But for the most part, he was okay. Let me put it that way. And what transpired was that she then phoned me back a few minutes later. She said the hospital actually just contacted her saying that it's serious and she needs to make her way to the hospital. For those that don't know, I've got 2 sisters and a baby brother that still lives in Cape Town. I'm originally from Cape Town, moved to Gauteng a few years ago. So I've been away from the family for quite a few years, etc. Obviously been going back and forth to Cape Town for holidays, birthdays, etc, etc. Okay, just coming back to the story. I'm trying to not to rant too much. Let me get back to the story. So basically what happened was, my sister, they went to the hospital and I was still at the place we were still getting our little treatments and stuff, and then she phoned me back and then she asked me to go, where am I, etc. She needs to just quickly talk to me, and then I said where I am, and then she asked me, can I go somewhere quickly? And then luckily that day there was no one else in the place. It was just Eden and I and the nail tech and the masseuse lady. And then they said to me, no, it's fine, I can go into the masseuse room and I can just go there and just take the call there. And then I sat, and that's when she told me that unfortunately my dad passed, and he's no longer with us. And obviously I had a moment and she had a moment, etc. It was shocking to say the least, because you as kids, we sort of walk around with this perception that our parents will be living forever, even though we know that that is not true. But it's this idea that we have that they're invincible, etc., and they will always be with us. And it was obviously devastating. I then asked the lady, I didn't even continue, she just quickly just finished up and whatever, and then I said, I'm not gonna do anything else, and she said, I must just finish Eden and then we're gonna go back home. Michael was in the front area busy on his tablet, and of course the kids was with me for a business meeting, so he wasn't at home. So I just packed up the kids and then we came back home. And on our way home, I phoned Happy to say, look, this is what happened. My daddy passed away, and I said to him, but don't rush back away. Finish up where you are and then going to come back home. There's nothing that we can do at this point in time. So that is the reason why I left YouTube for about, I think that was in December, about 6 months or so. I was off the YouTube for a while, and I just gotten back on track with YouTube, trying to be consistent with my videos, in a groove, and I was enjoying it like I used to enjoy doing YouTube. And the reason why I couldn't come back sooner is that I just didn't feel like I was coming across, and believe me, I tried a few times, but I just felt like I was not being my authentic self. I wasn't coming across as being, for lack of a better description, real, and I was in a very, very blue place, if I can put it that way. Not feeling myself. I was not only emotionally, mentally, and it just spiraled from there. And luckily, with my husband's support and obviously with my kids, it sort of helped with regards to my, specifically with my children, just be, because there's a routine that we follow with going in our mornings, getting ready for school, and in the afternoons, and my kids thrive with it, I thrive with it as well, and it really helped me to not find myself in a place where I just wanted to be in bed and do nothing. So my day was my day basically consisted just of getting up in the morning, sorting my children out, dropping them at school, etc., coming back home, making some coffee, and I would just go lay. I would just be in bed watching Netflix up until the time I needed to go and fetch my kids, and sometime between then I would make breakfast for Abby and I, etc. But that is what my day would consist of. And I, that 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 was the default for quite a while. And I attempted to get myself out of this little funky place I was in. And I felt like whenever I started, and then it would just collapse. And it was difficult, and it still is difficult, but I felt at this point in time, I feel a little bit better. Obviously, the missing and longing for my dad, not being able to phone my dad, not being able to call my dad and just have a telephone conversation is difficult. So we learn to, with grief, I've lost my mother many years ago. I've lost grandparents, I've lost my mother-in-law. You don't get over it. You know, you have to create this new norm for yourself, getting used to the fact that you will not be seeing them anymore. They are not part of your daily life anymore, whether it's via actual visit, whether it's via telephone conversation, video conversation, or just WhatsApp chats and whatever. They are no longer physically part of our life, you know, and that part for me is very difficult. And I think when people say to you, it's going to get better, it's going to get better, no, it's not going to get better. You get used to having them not around. The longing and the missing, well, for me specifically, it's always been there. I mean, I've experienced that with my mom, and even my maternal grandma, when she passed as well. I experienced, that's the first time I experienced a very big loss in my life, you know. And you get used to the idea of not having the physical person there, and then obviously the memories and those type of things are the things that you sort of linger on and reminisce about, things that you've done and the time you've spent together, etc. So this journey for me it's really been difficult with my dad's passing. I've had conversations with my husband. I've even had conversations with one of my besties in Cape Town. And we've had talks about, where I've shared with her how I feel and how I'm dealing with everything and the difficulties I'm having trying to get back to being my old self again. And I think that is the sort of misconception ideal state to be in, but we cannot be ourselves. We cannot go back to being ourselves, or for me at least, because something traumatic has happened. It has affected me, and it is now, I'm not the same. I cannot, or for me, I cannot be the same like I was before this happened. So I need to now just sort of move through things and find a new way of existence, if I can put it that way. Not trying to be over dramatic, but just finding a way for me to work through my daily life and go through my daily life without having my dad in my life. The conversation I had with my hubby was that the guilt I'm suffering from, the guilt that I'm feeling for being thus so far away from him and not having that luxury of being with him and going to visit him like we did before we moved to Gauteng, obviously, right? So that part of it was weighing heavy on me. The fact that when there were times when he was sick, I could only reach out via telephone, video calls, etc. I couldn't physically be there, you know. And I think that's the part I'm struggling with the most. I'm definitely at a different place now, at a much better place now. It's hard most days, yes it is. But what I've learned through all of the things, all the people I've lost in my life, is that feel the emotion, whether it's negative, whether it's positive, but also having people around you, even though you don't believe the words they're saying and you feel like they don't understand, but to try and listen to the words. Allow those people to speak life back into you. For me, at this point in time, that is why I was off YouTube and off the socials, etc. Even though there were little glimpses of me trying to get back onto it, but this was the reason why I couldn't. I just didn't feel like I was coming across being my authentic self. So I'm going to end it here. I'm trying to keep it very short because I don't want to be crying on social media. But I just wanted to say this to whoever is going through a situation, whether it's losing a loved one or just a difficult struggle, is to say to you, even in that moment when you feel like you don't want to go on, you don't want to do anything, is to try as much as possible to draw not only from your faith, if that's possible for you, and also draw from the people that's still around you, help you to mobilize yourself to say is that I need to get up, I need to move, I need to do something. That is what helped me, is to keep on constantly trying to remind myself is that be truthful about the emotional state you're in, work through that emotion, and draw from the people around you, positive people around you, help you to find that discipline. Let me use that word. To find that discipline to say, I need to do what I need to do. And hopefully by doing those things, it's going to sort of help you come out of that place of feeling despair, feeling that place of darkness. I would label it as that. So without me ranting for too long, I'm just going to end this little chat here. I hope I've cleared up why I was missing. I was getting a little bit of flack from some of the people that I follow, and I was commenting on their videos and some of their lives and things like that, and then they were like, where have you been? Why are you can't just disappear and not tell us what happened. I just felt it would only be right for me to come here and just say this is what it was and this is what it is. So I'm hoping that now that I'm feeling much better, and I have been posting, that I will be a little bit more consistent, and I'm hoping to get back into the groove of just posting on. That's my little story, guys. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Thank you so much for lending your ear. And yeah, so here's to getting back on track with our eating, getting back on track with our health goals, and just getting back on track overall. So I send love, and I send comfort, and I send peace, and I love you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Gone too soon, like a rainbow fading in the twinkling of an eye. Gone too soon, shiny and sparkly and splendidly bright. Here one day, gone one night, like the loss of sunlight on a cloudy